Hey everybody, and welcome to Range Rebel Productions. For those of you who are subscribers, welcome back, and thanks for being a subscriber. Today's video, what I want to show you here is some uniform stuff that I have put together for the bounty hunting profession, which I do as a part-time basis from time to time. As well as the tactical equipment that I use in doing that job too. So a couple things I want to point out first, like before I get started here. This uniform stuff that I put together is for identification purposes only. By no means is it intended to portray or look like law enforcement. That really kind of bugs me when people say that. I'm not law enforcement, I know that. I don't act like law enforcement. Bounty hunting is completely separate from that. Sure, we might be apprehending a fugitive that's on a run, but I mean, that is not just any fugitive that's on the run. It is actually a person who is bonded out by the bail bonds company that I will be affiliated with. So you can't just run out and like go apprehend a fugitive because like they're on the run. Like it doesn't work that way. If I'm not really going to get into how this whole process works. I mean, that's a completely like separate video, like all on its own. So I don't want anybody to see this video and be misled and thinking that I'm telling you like how to do that job, because I am not. This video is going to just show you like the tactical equipment that I use and the clothing that I will use that is for identification purposes only. So with that being said, like I'm gonna start out with the first piece of equipment here. It is a concealable vest that I use. It is from Safe Life Defense. You can purchase this. These starting at like $3.99 and they go all the way up through $4.99, depending on the threat level that you are looking to purchase. I'm really happy with this vest. I mean, this is very well constructed. It's very comfortable to use. There's quite a few. I mean, it's very adjustable. Like, let's say that. So you have the straps like here on the sides. I don't know if you can see that too well. I'm trying to get out of light there. Yeah, like that, like these, and then same things in the back. So, and it's pretty breathable. Like in the summer, like when I'm wearing this, I mean, I don't really feel like I'm overheated or sweating too bad, like with having this on. So this is the first piece of equipment I want to show, and then I'll get into some of the clothing stuff. Now will be the next thing, and then like duty belt and equipment that I use for that. So let's get started. Okay guys, on this setup here, I've gone with the navy blue cargo ripstop pants, gone with a navy blue polo shirt. I have fugitive recovery agent on the right hand side of the shirt. I have fugitive recovery agent patches on the both arms, as well as the large patch on the back. The badge that we use here that reads United States Bail and Fugitive Enforcement Recovery Agent. The majority of us in this business are going to use these. There are others you can purchase depending on like your group, your team. Like they will make those decisions on what they want to use. but that is also on my shirt too. And the jacket that I have has all the same stuff. Even my hat has a mini patch that looks the same as the arms here. Again, I want to point out, like, I don't want people to try and say that me or anybody else like this is impersonating the police, because we're not. Don't get it twisted. Like, I mean, I kind of get irritated with people saying that. It is for identification purposes only, because I don't want to be wearing normal clothes, you know, and outside somebody's house, like trying to check and see if the fugitive is there, and the neighbor across the street like sees, oh man, he's got a gun, like we don't know who he is. Next thing you know, like there's, you know, actual law enforcement rolling up, and then for me doing my job, you're going to put me at risk of getting shot. So having some sort of identification that can let people know like who we are, and you know, basically like what we're out there doing is very important, not just for my safety but for other people's too. I can't stress that enough. Safety is crucial, you know, like you don't want to have anybody put in the wrong situation where it could have been prevented. It is good practice right off the bat to notify local law enforcement that, hey, like we are going into this neighborhood, we're going to this address, we're looking for this person, like this is who we are, in case anybody calls. So most people are going to do that. So I want to show you like the belt system that I'm using. I use a nylon duty belt. I have a cuff case in the front. I have a expandable baton here, and then another cuff case here, flashlight holder, pepper spray. I don't carry a taser, and then double mags. I use I'll show you this here, the ALS and SLS duty holster from Safariland. It is very important also when it comes to holsters that you're going to use, making sure that somebody isn't going to be able to grab your firearm out of your weapon. That's very important. You can't stress that enough either. So on mine here, all it is like I have a thumb release, push that down, and you can pop that out. So, and what is cool about this holster here is I use from Safariland also the MLS system, and that basically is like this. So if you have to go to the jail, when you take a fugitive in, you're not allowed to carry a firearm, okay? Law enforcement does the same thing. Like when they pull into the garage, they have to disarm, put the weapon like in a steel box, you lock it up. Us, we don't drive into the building and some of the facilities, so you still have to take your weapon out. So with this system here, all it is like an unlocking, like with a fork system. I can completely take my holster right off my belt, so I don't ever have to pull the weapon out of the holster. Like it always stays in here. Lock this up, and we're good to go. And then when we come back, all it is take that with the fork system here like this, and it's got a backer that goes on the holder here. Just take that, drop that in there, snap that into place, and you're good to go. For this type of setup here that I'm wearing like right now, this is more for like a low profile. Like we're gonna know the person that we're going to get. We're gonna know their profile. Like, are they just drug related? Is it from a DUI case, or is this person weapons related, and are they gang affiliated? So there's different clothing that I'm going to use depending on the priority or the threat level that this person is going to bring, like when we're going to do the apprehension to make the arrest. So this is just for something similar, like a DUI case or like a drug offense, nothing like too serious. So not expecting like anything to go down like when we go to the house, but I mean, could happen, you know, like always keep your eyes open and be aware of your surroundings, and like we'll go from there. So that's this setup, and I want to get into another one that is more tactical, so we'll get into that. Okay guys, on this setup here, this is going to be going for more of a tactical setup, or a like a higher threat level for a fugitive. So on this, I've gone with a black BDU top, and I'm going with the black BDU bottoms on here. Still stressing identification. I have the fugitive recovery agent patch on the front on the left here underneath the badge, like on the other shirt. I have different patches on these arms, but they still say fugitive recovery agent both sides, the American flag, and then I have the fugitive recovery agent patch on the back too. So clearly identifiable. Anybody can read that. They can tell exactly like who I am. You know, so they don't think I'm just some Joe Schmo like out on the street walking around with a gun like peeking in somebody's window. So we definitely don't want that. Not going with the same duty belt. I mean, you can, if you are wearing the stuff, you can wear the duty belt from that I just had on, but this one is going to be less equipment, but I'm using I don't know if you can see that, a drop leg holster on this leg. I'm running Condor knee pads and elbow pads here. I'm using another drop leg holster on this side here that's running like two pouches. And then I run on this side as well like a first aid kit. And what I like about this pouch here is because I can unclip this and then pull that first aid kit like right off of there, and it's like easily accessible. I don't know if anybody knows it, but like if you go into a house, and just like law enforcement too, I mean, you can't just go there, and if like there's exchange of gunfire for whatever reason, like they started shooting at you and you had to shoot back, if you injure that person, like you are now required to provide medical treatment for them, and you should. I mean, we don't ever want to see it to like get to that point, but always have somebody on a team that knows what they're doing and can provide like first aid treatment in a case like that. Like for me, like I've been in the military, like I've had combat lifesavers, so if I had to patch a bullet hole in somebody, like I would know exactly how to do that. But yeah, that's a whole different video, like all on its own. So yeah, like this isn't everything that I'm going to use in this equipment. Like I'll be using the same concealable vest in here, but I'm going to get to some more add-ons here, like right now. Okay, so with this here, I'm actually wearing a Condor plate carrier with steel rifle plates, both front and back. Does have pouches on the side for two side plates that I'm not using, and I'm not using them right now just because of the video, and I don't want to be wearing all the extra weight. So if you go to a house and you're expecting you know, a possibility that something's going to go wrong because the threat level is high enough, I mean, let me try and explain something. Like when there's somebody who didn't show up to their court date because, you know, they're possibly looking at like 25 years to, you know, life in prison because, you know, multiple felonies or whatever they did, they don't want to go back, and they're, you know, could potentially put up a fight because they don't want to go back. And that could mean that, I mean, you have the risk of getting shot at. So, you know, there are cases like that where that's happened. Can't say that there's gunfire been exchanged, but there is high risk fugitives where that is definitely a potential to happen. And you want to be able to protect yourself, like when, you know, when you're going to put yourself in those situations. So having a rifle plate that's going to stop like a .308 round, you know, at the minimum, definitely a plus to be having on here. So I want to show you like some more stuff that I'm going to put on top of this here, just for like a equipment setup. Okay guys, this is going to be like the last little part of the video here. What I'm going to show you from basically waist up. We've already covered everything that's down here. Drop leg holsters on both legs for pistol, and then pouches for equipment, first aid, and whatnot. But this here is actually a outer carrier that goes over top of the plate carrier. I like using it because if I need to take all my equipment off, I still want to have my rifle plates on, and I don't want to pull that down if I'm taking stuff down for a minute. So basically what you have on here is you have 3 pouches that hold 2 AR magazines a piece, so you can hold a total of 6 plus 1 in the weapon. You have a total of 7 at 30 rounds a piece. I don't carry that much. I only carry 1, 2, 3, and 4 by 30, so not too many. On this side, I usually carry a set of binos in this bag, binoculars. So if I need to see at a distance, you know, if we're in the back of a house trying to see over a fence, like into a window, to see like if our fugitive is on the inside, I want to be able to get a visual so we know if we're going to make contact. Tactical light, that's in green. There's reasons for that I'm not going to get into like right now. I have 3 pistol magazines here that I can hold, and then 1 of the guns, so 4 total. Up here, just a pouch for some papers, put a pen in here, like whatever you want to use. And then you'll hold like communication stuff on your belt here for commo. And then I'll usually I use hearing protection, like that's the most important too. I'll run a pair like this, and then I'll run my earpiece like underneath and go that route. If you're protecting everything else, like, you might as well protect your head too. So I'm using a Israeli level 3A Kevlar helmet. Got to protect the melon. Take a round to the head, it's over. Then there wouldn't be like any more point in, you know, having any of this stuff. So that's the front. We still have identification on this here. It says fugitive recovery agent on the right. It also says that on the back of the vest as well. I have a couple various pouches on the back. The big rig here, this pouch is for gas mask. Drug related cases, like if you have to go to a house and they're known for methamphetamines or cooking in that house or processing or manufacturing methamphetamines. Me personally, I don't want to breathe any of that stuff if I have to go in there. I'll wear a gas mask. Like you can think it's funny, but I don't. I protect my lungs and from any foreign objects. So that I'll stress that, and that's pretty much it to all the equipment that I use, besides the weapon systems. I didn't show these in the video, but I use a little 9mm backup gun. I use a Smith & Wesson 40 cal as a duty gun, and I carry a Smith & Wesson AR-15. So don't carry a rifle like on every case, because depending on the threat level, like there really isn't a need. Like if you're going to a place and you're expecting some sort of contact like that, most times, like depending on the threat, because we are not law enforcement and we do not have the manpower necessary to be able to apprehend somebody like that, there always is the option you can turn over like this case to local law enforcement and let them make the apprehension. They have SWAT teams like SRT, special response teams, that are going to have more of the resources and equipment and more of the manpower than just a few guys working for a bail bonds company are going to be able to provide. A lot of cases it's not going to be enough, and you'll always need more. Police, I mean, some will, some won't. Some will like it, some won't like it, but they will help you, like if you need it. So you can always call. But I don't want to get into how the whole job works for bail bonds. You'll have to. That's a whole nother video, and you can look all that stuff up on the internet and find your local laws and everything that you need to, if this is a profession that you're looking to do. With this video, I basically was trying to show you the equipment that I use for this stuff. This is my personal equipment. I've purchased it. This is what I use. You can purchase whatever you like. Now with that said, I want to make one more point. Still, like I've said it a couple times now, like myself, other teammates, not trying to look like law enforcement. Maybe we do, but we're not law enforcement. We don't act like law enforcement. We're not trying to be like cops. We don't tell people we're cops. Let's get that point like very clear. Like it is for identification purposes only is why we look like we do. So if we go into a neighborhood, that is basically so like somebody peeking out of their window, like looking to see what's going on, like they'll be able to tell right away, like, oh, fugitive recovery, they must work for a bail bonds company. Or if they call the police and like give them that information, like the police dispatcher can let them know, like, okay, like this is what's going on. But for the most part, and for starters, like before you go into those areas, like you're going to notify the police, so if anybody does call, like they're going to be told like when they make a phone call. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions or want to make any comments, like feel free. I look forward to reading any comments, both good or bad. You're not going to offend me in any way by doing so. Hit like and subscribe, and hey, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Till next time.